Hey there, I'm Josh from Synty Studios. We make game assets, and by default, our Unreal projects come for Unreal version 5.3. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the various ways you can convert them to 5.8. I'm first going to show the easiest way, which is to convert a project you've downloaded into Unreal 5.8 or the version you want, but later on I'll also show how to update your existing projects. Here I have downloaded the Polygon Military Pack for Unreal version 5.3. Let's right-click the U project, go to Show More Options, and click Switch Unreal Engine version. That'll bring up a new window where we can choose our installed version. Let's choose 5.8 and hit OK. That will update it, and then we can double-click the project after a moment to launch it. By doing it this way, our existing blueprint characters should work out of the box. Let's hit play and give it a test. As you can see, we can run around and our inputs work fine. I'll next show you how to add our content to an existing 5.8 project and get it working. Here I have a new Unreal 5.8 project using the third-person starter template. New versions of Unreal have deprecated the old input system, and you can see here there's an input folder with the new input system. I'll show how to use the new input system later in the video, but for now we're going to use the old deprecated system. Let's import our Polygon Military Pack. If you bought it from the Fab store, you can use the Epic Games launcher. Since I got it from the Synty store, I'm going to go to the Polygon Military folder that I downloaded and extracted. As you can see in there, there's a content folder. If I go in there, we can see the Polygon Military folder. Let's now go back to Unreal, right-click the root content folder, and click Show in Explorer. This will bring the content folder up for our project. Now we can go to the Polygon Military folder, drag Polygon Military into the content folder of our project, and copy it over. Our Polygon Military content is now in our new Unreal 5.8 project. Let's go to the Polygon Military folder, go to Scenes, and open the demo level. Once you're in the demo level, if you hit play, you'll notice that the input isn't working. This is because Unreal 5.8 uses the new input system, but our characters use the old input system by default. You can see under the Blueprints folder in the Polygon Military Pack that we have a large collection of preset characters. Let's fix it so that the input works for them by default. If we go to Edit and Project Settings, we can scroll down and find Input. Here we can see where it says that the old system has been deprecated. However, we can still import the input controls. To do this, I'm first going to export the input controls from the project we downloaded from the Synty store. Even if we upgraded it to 5.8, it'll still work. If you use Fab, you can create a new Unreal 5.3 project using the third-person starter template and use that. Once again, you're going to go to Edit, Project Settings, and scroll down to Input. This time, however, you're going to click Export. Choose a spot to export your controls. In this case, I'm just going to use my desktop. You can give it a name if you like as well. In this case, I'll call it Input. Once we've exported that, we can close our project that had the controls and go back to our Unreal 5.8 project. Once we're back in the Unreal 5.8 project, we can once again go to Edit, Project Settings, and scroll down to Input. This time, we can click Import. Find the file that you exported, in this case the file named Input on my desktop, and double-click it. Your controls will now be imported. Hitting play should now work, but we also have this large collection of characters. I'll give you a quick tip on how to change your starting character. Let's go to the Window tab and open the World Settings. The World Settings has the Game Mode section. The default game mode is fine, and under the selected game mode, we can see the default pawn class. We can go to our character blueprints in the Polygon Military Pack and find one that we like. When we find one that we like, we can drag and drop it into the default pawn class. Additionally, instead of hitting play this time, let's right-click somewhere in the world and go to Play from Here. We'll play from that location by doing this. As you can see, we're now our new character that we drag and dropped into the default pawn class. Also, our inputs work. We're able to run around. However, this is using the old deprecated input system. I'll next show you a few ways you can use the new input system. If we go to the third-person folder and go to Blueprints, we can open the BP third-person character. Inside of here, you can see the new input blueprint code. If we go to the viewport, we can see the default Quinn mannequin. Let's select her so that we can replace her. Let's go back to our Level tab so that we can see our content. We're going to go back to the Polygon Military folder and go to Meshes. Here you'll notice that there's two Characters tabs. One of them is called Characters, and one of them is called Characters UE4 Mannequin. Because Unreal 5 introduced the new mannequin, we include characters both on the UE4 mannequin and the UE5 mannequin. Let's select a character we like in the Characters UE4 mannequin, go back to our blueprint, and then click this button here to replace the character mesh with the mesh we want. We're also going to lower the character a little bit as it's a little bit higher than the capsule. You can also reduce the capsule height. Adjust it as you see fit. Let's compile and save that. Again, let's go back to our Level tab and go to the World Settings. We need to change the third-person game mode to BP third-person game mode. This will adjust the player controller class. We need that for the inputs to work. The default pawn can remain the same. Let's again right-click a spot, click play from here, and our new input should work using the UE 5.8 input system and animations. This is great, however all of our existing Blueprint characters use the old input system. You might want them to use this new input system. I'll show you how to update them now. Let's double-click to open any of our character blueprints. This will show the parent class at the top. You can click Find to browse it in the Explorer, or click the Edit button. Let's edit it here. Here, we just need to remove the existing inputs. Let's delete everything from the event graph and then compile. We can go to the viewport and check which skeletal mesh is there if we want. We can also check the class defaults, but where we need to go is the class settings. Here we need to change the parent class. We need to change it to BP third person character. That's the Unreal 5.8 one. By setting the parent class to the 5.8 third person character, we'll get all of the blueprints. If we want to get to that blueprint, we can click this magnifying glass here. Now let's go back to our third person character tab, compile, and save it. All of our characters use that third person character as their parent, and the third person character now uses the BP third person character as its parent. Let's drag and drop one of our character blueprints into the default pawn class, and again right click and choose play from here. By setting it up this way, we're able to use the new Unreal input system on our existing character preset blueprints. As you can see, I'm running around with one of our existing character presets, and it's now using the new Unreal input system. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found this tutorial helpful. All of the assets used in this tutorial can be found in the description. Let us know in the comments if you have any ideas for any future tutorials.